Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I am James Haskell here with my co-host Glenn Martin, and we are excited to talk about the Ravens here on a Tuesday night, to look back, take a deeper view at the Bills game, to get you guys updated on the Ravens, talk about our concerns, talk about any good things, silver lining we had come out of this game, like now that we've had time to digest and think about it. And kind of get you guys obviously prep for this upcoming game, the Sunday night game. So really excited for that. Glad you guys are here with us. But the biggest announcement, of course, of all is that Glenn has traveled around the sun on this big blue planet one more time. So happy birthday, Glenn. How you feeling?
Thank you. Feeling good. Had a bit of a frustrating start to my day, but after that, it was quite relaxing and not too bad. Taco Tuesday, Jimbo. So it's always a win when it's Taco Tuesday in the house.
That's true. So yeah, Katie made some tacos then?
Yes, sir.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good. Glad to hear it. All right. So, Glenn, where should we start? You want to start? There you go. Sean Pisker's got a shout out for you.
My guy. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you, sir. Hey, Chris. Thanks, man. Hey, I capped something off of Chris Hoffman's Facebook here that I'm going to be talking about here pretty soon. Not the best of news that he posted here, but I appreciate your donation to the show here and the content. All right, so the way I guess we have a lot to talk about, a bunch of stuff comes out. When we do our first live reaction, it's very raw. It's as soon as the game is over, as you can tell by Jimmy's emotions. It's pretty fresh. We don't get to see the post game press conferences. We see some notes as they're being live tweeted from the local media, but that's about it. But we, of course, there's more things that get revealed, in the following days. So there's a bunch more to talk about following last week's games. We got the snap counts we want to go over. Tanya, shout out to Tanya. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
She also texted me. She said, make sure you see the comment. Happy birthday,
okay.
Glenn.
Got it. Yeah, don't want to miss that. But yeah, lots to talk about. But I think and we're gonna get into all of it. But I think where we got to start is a member of the old guard, one of the fan favorites here in Baltimore, a lifelong Raven, is hanging up the cleats. Jimmy Smith, cornerback Jimmy Smith, is no longer going to be playing NFL football, hanging them up. Announced yesterday, I believe it was, that he will be retiring as a Raven after playing all 11 seasons as a Baltimore Raven, never playing in a different uniform. And that's something he certainly took a lot of pride in, and as did the organization. What are your thoughts when you think about Jimmy Smith?
Yeah, man. A few things come to my mind when I think of Jimmy Smith. The first thing, inevitably, is I think his presence physically as a corner. I liked the thing he talked about in that being a lockdown corner was really being a every down, every scenario corner. Everyone thinks of a lockdown corner and to think a guy that can, lock down a receiver, right? But that also, there's plenty of quote unquote lockdown corners that don't want to tackle anyone. And I'm not discrediting them or anything like that, but Jimmy's standard for himself was to be a great coverage corner, but also be a presence in any scenario, particularly the run game. So when I think about Jimmy Smith, I think about physical, I think about imposing, overly athletic. That's probably and aggressive, probably some of the reason why he got injured certain times. Probably, I know that there was some unfulfilled potential there with Jimmy Smith. Still did an incredible amount in his career, but I still think that it's fair to say one of the most physically gifted guys at his position that we've seen in a long time. Whether or not his potential lived up to what people wanted it to be is one thing, but I think he'll always be an underrated player outside of Baltimore and a recognized, respected, and revered player here in Baltimore. Do you think that he is a Ring of Honor Raven, Glenn?
Man, excuse me. I was thinking about this same thing going, he's a lifelong Raven. I know that matters to the organization. He was a Super Bowl champion. He's a draft pick, a first round draft pick at that. I think that he's done enough I think he gets in there. I do.
And a while.
Yeah, well, I don't know how long it takes. I think maybe maybe 2 seasons. I think we start to hear about him going up there. I just wonder, is there a cap? Is there a limit? There's already, a log jam of, I think, guys that are expected to get in. I think Marshall Yanda is going to be going in. Is it this Sunday? Did he
I
go?
think so. Or did he already?
He may already have gotten in. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, 11 years, all one team. You win a Super Bowl. And not only does he win the Super Bowl, but, he was the main cog in the final 2 plays in that goal line stand that ultimately won them the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I mean, this guy, man, Jared says, do you think Jimmy is a Hall of Famer if he stays healthy? Man, if he stays healthy, that's a big if, because he only played in all 16 games twice in his 11-year career.
Yeah.
So it's a big if, but
And then 11 years, I don't know if even if he did stay healthy, if that's long enough. I don't know. Even at that point,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, unless you were making and stacking a bunch of Pro Bowls,
Right.
which we all know can be tough if you're not getting the cornerback. It can be kind of tough if you're not getting the targets, not putting up the numbers, and some
Well,
of
and
your
then there's
stuff.
always the media guys who, get
Yeah,
votes because
or the
they're
more loud, boisterous,
yeah,
not really his
exactly.
thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, hell of a player, big, strong, fast. Like Jimmy said, the prototype, which you would want in a first round, number 1 lockdown cornerback. And I think it was interesting. I was listening to his presser, and he talked about how he thanked the Ravens for taking a chance on him after he called them orange flags. He wouldn't want to call them red flags, but he had some orange flags as he was coming out. But immediately felt like it was home when he came here. He talked about he talked, excuse me, about Coach Harbaugh. He talked about he said, this is a quote from Jimmy Smith when he talked about Coach. He said, when you have a good coach, he should be a great mentor, and the players should follow. If you're a good coach, your players look up to you, and Harbaugh epitomizes that. So certainly a lot of respect he has for Coach Harbaugh, has a lot of respect for this organization and what they've done for him. And yeah, nothing but well wishes and good luck for him and his post-football career. I'm sure it'll be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Jimmy Smith. Congrats to him. Happy for him. Glad that he got to retire a Baltimore Raven for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, Jimmy Smith is gone.
Yep.
Well, let's and
Talk about
once
who's
again,
here.
congrats to him. That's right. Now let's talk about the cavalry potentially coming back, right? So as a part of this transition to week 5 and the Bengals game being the most important game, like John mentioned, we want to talk about who, players that are returning, any roster moves, and then also kind of take a look back a little bit at the Bills game. So at this point, I think it's good to talk about injury updates, any good news, any bad news, because I think we got some good news. I'm only going to announce one. I'm going to let you do the rest, Glenn. It is your birthday.
Thank
So I'm
you.
going to let you do all the rest.
Appreciate it.
But I want to mention one because he is my favorite Raven.
Yeah.
And that is Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards, coach said it so matter of fact. Oh, Gus is coming back to practice.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just slid it in there.
Yeah, like no big deal. What? Like, you know what I mean? I was sitting on a stool. I almost fell off my stool when I heard it and was like, are you kidding me? This is incredible news. I'm already just getting excited thinking about the potential of getting JK healthier, Gus healthier, and Justice healthy. Now that we've seen some real play from Justice Hill, this could be the real 3-headed monster that the Ravens envisioned initially, right before the injuries and when drafting Justice Hill. So it's really, really exciting stuff, and I can't wait to see it. But man, are you as excited as me that Gus is coming back?
Yeah, I mean, Gus is just another one of these guys that are returning throughout the season. And it's funny by the way, Jimbo, your green screen is down. It's like when you pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
There we go.
It's like Wizard of Oz.
Die. My computer was about to die.
It's like Wizard of Oz. Don't look when his green screen falls down.
I thought about turning my camera off.
I don't even know. Yeah. So what I think is pretty exciting about the way all these guys are returning is this is a slow trickle. It's kind of like, some guys were ready a little bit before others, and now we're starting to see, it looks like Stanley's definitely about, he's around the corner. He's got to be coming close. JK's already been back. Now we're starting to see the return of Gus Edwards, but not just Gus, Jimbo, not just Gus, which I know you're hype. But also
wait, there's more.
That's right. Also announcing that Tyus Bowser will be returning in some capacity to practice this week. It made it he made it seem like this is going to be more of a, he's going to be eased back into practice, going some individual stuff before rejoining his team for team activities, but back to practice nonetheless. And everything we've seen from him, as he looks healthy, he looks big, strong. So excited to see what Tyus Bowser can do. I think that'll, we talked about how Ronnie Stanley and how once he comes back, how guys, can kind of, everyone's will be back in their original role.
Right?
Yeah. I think Tyus could be that guy, certainly in the edge group, because it allows him to go back to doing what he does in an exceptional way. And that's cover guys out of the backfield to drop. And it'll allow guys like Owe maybe not to drop so often because we've seen him having to do so a lot, which, is part of the job, but not where we, as Ravens fans want to see him the most. We want to see him chasing the quarterback. So I'm excited about Tyus coming back. Did say that Charlie Kohler's still not ready to come back after he had, was that what did he have done exactly? Was it
some sort of sports hernia surgery? I don't know exactly.
Okay. So like a core.
Yeah, something in there.
Okay. So he's still not going to be back, which, as of right now, the depth in the tight end room looks okay. Although we'd like to see some production improvements from guys like Likely. But also, a bit of a bad news. Rashad Bateman does have a mid-foot injury, was seen leaving the stadium in a walking boot. And that's where I want to go next here, Jimbo. I got to get your take on what's going on in the receiver room. Rashad Bateman has the foot injury, has the disappointing drop on third down that was the part of that disappointing second half by the Ravens offense. But if he's forced to miss games, we've loved what we've seen from Duvernay, but now Duvernay has to go into a different role, maybe more expanded role. Now we need more of Demarcus Robinson, and we might finally see some James Prochet. Are you concerned if Rashad Bateman is going to miss a game or two?
I'm not overly concerned. To me, Sean, we will get to your comment in 1 minute. But I just want to answer this question. To me, I think actually it doesn't come down to wide receivers being more than they need to be. I think it comes down to a guy that's not even a wide receiver, and I want Isaiah Likely to get more involved in this passing game. I think if Isaiah Likely can become more of a threat, he creates a conundrum that will make it easier for a guy like Duvernay, for a guy like Prochet, for a guy like Robinson out there. And so while I know we're all focusing on the wide receiver group and naturally they will have the biggest impact, I want Devin Duvernay to get more targets, period. I think the more targets for Devin Duvernay, the better. I want Demarcus Robinson has also played well. I'm not upset with him getting more targets. So my only concern would be it's not that I don't want Rashad out there. I definitely do. But I'm not overly concerned because it's not a long period of time. And because I think that we've seen that we can rely on Devin. We can rely on Demarcus. Even in moments, they've taken advantage of every opportunity they had. So I say give them more of an opportunity, right? Like turn the gas on it. So just really quickly here, Glenn, we got a guest in the show. Oh, look who it is. What's up, TJ?
Oh, wow, Triggers. What's going on, bro?
You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Loud and clear.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Big 3-5, man. You don't look a day over 34.
Thank you. My man, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Man,
yeah, 35, which means you're still older than me, bro. So I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, thank you for jumping in. Appreciate the happy birthday wishes. Thank you, sir.
All right, fellas. Talk to you later, man.
That's right. Appreciate it, TJ.
See ya.
Talk to you
Look
later.
at you setting stuff up, Jimbo. You little sneak.
I try my best. What can I say?
You little sneak.
But yeah, so I think that I'm not overly concerned is my short answer. My long, I kind of explained why, but I'm not crazy concerned. You?
I don't know about concerns the word. I'm disappointed because I loved, what we've been seeing from Bateman. I think he's flashed that he has it in him to be that true number one that Ravens fans have been just clamoring for a while. But if you can't stay on the field, and it's not, this is not me saying this is his fault. It's just a, kind of a bad luck situation. But if you can't stay on the field, then you can't stake that claim, and you can't be that guy that you want your teammates to be able to rely on. So disappointed. And also, I think, man, we're gonna see what they got in James Prochet. We're gonna see what they got in some of these young guys. But I'm a little bit nervous. I don't think concerned, but I am a little bit nervous. Let's just hope that this isn't an extended injury.
Yeah,
It's could be one of those things where it's expected to be short term, and before you know it, it's much longer than that.
but doesn't it also get you a little excited to know, like, the unknown of? Look, you ever seen the movie Pocahontas? You know the song "Right Around the River Bend."
Yep.
Right, we don't know what's around the river bend, my man.
Yeah, you know what it could be?
You know what? What if Devin
A
gets 10
waterfall.
targets and goes off?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? What if we got a Debo Samuels on our team that we don't even know about?
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying.
That's
Just
true.
put more gas on the fire, bro. Let's give Devin the ball, man.
But I know we here's my worry. If they see Bateman not out there, and then the defensive coordinator decides to test those weapons on the outside by getting up in their face and running some of that man blitz that we saw last year, can the wide receivers beat the guy in front of them? We know Bateman has been able to do it. I love his release package. It's extremely impressive, and we know when he gets the ball in his hands thus far this year, he's been electric. So
yeah,
that's the only thing that would have me, I guess, a little bit nervous is if they can't execute when they're challenged, because I think they're going to come up, get in their face, and challenge these guys to make a play if Bateman misses time. But let's get back to Sean.
Yeah.
Sean's comment. He said, "Evening, guys. Looking forward to the big game this Sunday night. We will have to meet up, and it's my first game." Oh, that's right. Yes, absolutely, Sean. We will have to meet up because we will be there. We will be at the bank. I can only hope for our sake, Jimbo, that the weather is a little bit better than it was for that Bills game or it was today. But yeah, excited to be there. It should be loud Sunday night. Last time we were there for Sunday night, Jimbo, was that Chiefs game, and it was absolutely insane. So let's hope it's even in the ballpark of that game's atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for the same. I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, it looks like it's going to be chilly, but brisk. I wouldn't say like crazy chilly, but no rain so far.
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
I can handle the cold.
That's right. That's right. So we'll hope for no rain. But man, I can't wait. This is a perfect game because the Ravens are coming to this. You know, this is the 2-2 in the division, first divisional game. Yep. Shout out for getting us some tickets. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to it. So yeah, man, I'm excited to really break this game down. Hopefully, we'll have a guest for you guys on Thursday as well as we dig deeper into it.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so let's get back into some of the other things that came out after last week's game. Let's see.
Yeah, let's talk about this, Glenn. Go ahead. I think we're going to the same place.
The fourth down decision, is that where we're going?
let's. So I want to talk about that, and in that, like, I thought it was interesting that John kept using the word trust in his presser. He seemed to be overcompensating a little bit. Oh, look, my mom said happy birthday in the chat.
Thank you, Doris. I appreciate you.
Oh, wait, look who it is.
Oh my God. What's going on, everyone? This is my wife and my son, Katie and Cam.
Hi, everybody.
Well, I appreciate the well wishes. Jimmy he's just back channeling left and right. My God.
So we wanted to say happy birthday. Thank you for all that you do for us.
Oh,
we truly appreciate you so much. You have no idea. We love you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dad.
all right. Thank you, guys. Oh
Bye.
my goodness.
Bye.
You guys are too much. I appreciate you. My goodness, Jimmy.
I'm trying to get the waterworks going, dude.
Nah, not doing it. Not happening. Not happening, but I do appreciate everybody. That was very nice of you. That was very
good. Glad.
Awesome. Yeah.
Glad.
All right, so let's get back into the Harbaugh decision because he talked about it, and I like the way he laid this out. And I want to relay this in case anybody missed it. The way he looked at it is he had three decisions. There was three options there. Option A would be to kick the field goal and then essentially give Josh Allen and their offense the ball back at roughly the 25-yard line if they kick it out of the end zone. And then they have to stop them from getting into field goal range, which would be a roughly 35-yard pickup. Or, if they get a touchdown, then they lose the game. So that's option one. They take the field goal, hope to keep them out of field goal range and not let them score a touchdown to lose the game. Option two is they go for it, and they get it, and now they're up by 7, and they give the ball back to Josh Allen, up by 7. Now that offense needs a touchdown, not just a field goal. And, obviously that was the one they were hoping would happen. And then option 3 is they go for it. They don't get it. The Bills offense now gets the ball tied on their own 2-yard line, which in that case, he feels really good that his defense would at the very least get a stop, because now the Bills are playing from not a position in which they're losing, they're tied. So they have to keep that into account when they're backed up on their 2-yard line. We don't want to give this ball back. So he didn't even put into the equation, well, they could get an interception, kneel the ball in the end zone, and now they have the ball comfortably out to the 20-yard line and need only a field goal. So with those as his options, I understand.
It's funny because didn't the fourth option happen?
The fourth option did happen, but he admitted that wasn't in his. Which, how could it be? I mean, how could it be?
The one thing you can't do there.
Yeah, exactly. Is throw an interception.
That's the hard part. Because, if those are your 3 variables, you can't be like, oh, well, this is the one thing that can't happen. I don't know. I just feel like that has to be known. That has to be expressed. And, maybe it was. I mean, we don't really know, right? But that's the one. As soon as it happened, literally, I looked over at Tanya and said, this is the worst thing, because I thought, oh, we'll go for it immediately. She's like, why aren't you taking the points? I said, go for it, because then they're backed up.
Yeah.
They're backed up. And there's not a ton of time. They're backed up. I got faith. Now, worst case scenario, like you said, but man, the interception was just a dagger.
It was a killer. It was.
Yeah.
And
so I kind of interrupted your train of thought there, but that was the tough part about all of it. I understand John's thoughts, but none of those things happened.
No, the one thing that he didn't account for, and who could have? I mean, I guess you do got to account for that as a possibility, but I can understand why that wasn't accounted for. And then also on the play call, they got the exact look they wanted from the defense. The play worked exactly how it was designed. Devin Duvernay was wide open in the right corner, but it just so happened that a blitzer got penetration and blocked the vision of Lamar. He had to take a few steps back before he was able to spot the open Duvernay in the corner, and then threw it off his back foot, which we know ultimately ended up in an interception. So I understand the decision. I will say he was supported by his players. The players, both sides, Marlon Humphrey liked the aggressiveness, said he was happy, tweeted after the game, happy they went for it and hopes they do it again. Defense has to get a stop. Obviously, Mark Andrews was happy and supported his coach's decision. My only issue with the decision is that this offense hasn't shown that they've been able to get that this year, or really the last half of last year and this year, even though if I said that to John, he'd say that was a different team. That's my only concern. But I understand analytics say it. If you looked at the analytics, technically them going for it improved their chances of winning by 1.6%, according to the analytics. So that's why he went for it. What do you think, Jimbo?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm okay with it. The only thing I guess I would say, if I had it my way, looking back, it's okay, and maybe Lamar just thought that it was there. But if it's not there, just chuck it out of the end zone and let the defense do their job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's not there. And so, I don't know. I feel like that would have been the only other thing. And I feel like John knows more about football. He's forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. So that has to have been a part of the conversation. But I agree with you in that I loved Mark Andrews' response, right? Mark was just I'm always going to want to go for it, right? This is just who I am. And you have to play to the makeup of your team. I also don't think that, look, great shooters don't stop shooting because they're not making shots.
Mm-hmm.
You got to turn the corner eventually. And then it's a momentum game. All that, we kind of talked about that at the end of the game, how do you quantify momentum? But really those scenarios was John, it was an analytical approach to momentum, and then that big swing was the one that wasn't considered, right? It's
but he thought that they had the momentum and that they had moved the ball all the way down the field to get.
No, what I mean though is that all those scenarios, whatever they were, the worst case scenario was a situation in which they still had defensive momentum because they'd be at the 2-yard line. Yeah. It was just that interception really killed it. So I'm okay with it. Looking back, I'm fine with it. I'll be happy if they do it again, but let's get it done. And my only other thing would be as much as I would tell Lamar to throw it out of bounds, if you're in that scenario again, to let your defense get him at the 2, Lamar, just tuck that thing and beat the guy in front of you, dude. Like, see what you can make of it, because I think it's a better scenario than trying to chuck it up to Duvernay. I don't know. That's just me, right? Like, we've seen Lamar do amazing things. See what you can do. I don't know percentage-wise which one's better, but I don't know if I'd be so ready to just chuck the ball up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
So,
he was trying to give his guys a chance to make a play.
And I get it.
I do like
you
that
know,
about Lamar.
for sure.
I hate it when quarterbacks don't give their guys a shot.
Right.
But Marco said, I would kick the field goal. Trust your $44 million secondary and defense to not allow a touchdown. Bills field goal would tie, get the ball back, and get to the 45-yard line for a game-winning field goal or overtime. Okay, so that's how Marco G would do it, and certainly understand it there.
Yeah.
No problem with it's just two different ways of doing it. And if you're wrong, then you look like an idiot. If you're right, you look like a genius. It's kind of how it boils down. Tariq says, back to offense and creativity. Once more in less than a year, Roman can't move the ball into the end zone with Lamar. Something is not right, guys. Sorry. Well, again, on the play call worked perfectly in that Duvernay was wide open, standing in the right corner. They got the exact look they wanted. They said Craig Vandersteeg, who I think is their red zone specialist, was elated. They got the exact look they wanted, and it worked to perfection, other than the fact that the defender blocked Lamar's view for that split second, causing him to pause. And so was it really play design that was the issue? Is that really Roman's fault? I have a hard time buying that.
This whole conversation is why football is an incredible team game, because what if Morgan Moses does a better job?
It's an easy touchdown.
You know what I mean? Like, what if, Lamar has a clear sight line and a guy not running free at him? So, and I'm not, once again, I'm not solely putting it on Morgan either, right? Like, there's all these things. It's like this giant butterfly effect, So, it's really difficult to just blame the play call, to just blame going for it or not going for it, because there's a million what ifs and ways that we could go. So, I don't know. I'm with it. I'm okay with it. But like you said, Glenn, we've got to turn the corner. We've got to, are we the Bulls before they beat the Pistons and then they finally beat the Pistons? Or are we the Bills that went to Super Bowl 4 times and never won? Like, who are we in big moments?
I tell you what, you seem like a whole different person. Like D. Williams says, you got your rational mind back, because even the look in your eyes is different. You looked crazed last time I saw you, Jimbo.
Yeah, I was a bit rabid. I went back and watched it and was like, oh, gosh.
It was hilarious. It was absolutely.
Yeah, I had Rich texted me today and said I looked like Skip Bayless.
Someone you definitely do not want to be. Well, I guess physically, what's he, like 70-something? He still runs like a maniac, so I'll take it.
I don't even, I mean, he only does a cardio hour a day now. So,
Jesus.
I mean, but it's like,
he's like 70. He's like, how old is he?
I don't know, but he was like a competitive marathoner. Like, he lifts weights more than he runs. That was my point. But
okay, all right. All
that being said, I don't know whether to take it as a good thing or a bad thing. I just don't know. But I'm back. And we're going to talk about that, how we're feeling. We're going to check the temperature of the water here in a little bit now that we're moving forward. But Marco G says, of course, the players want to go for it. Players play. Harb's got to be the adult in the room. I'm tired of Harb's using players as an excuse to make bad calls. Marco, I appreciate the super chat. I wholeheartedly disagree with this one. Because I think as a coach in a professional setting, it's not, I don't know if it's your job to be the bus driver. Like, it's not like you have children on the bus and you're the only adult on the bus. You're all consultants, or you're all colleagues. I understand his role is to manage the team, but being a good manager is understanding who you got on your team and matching your style to them. Right. And so maybe back in, I don't know. Let's see. When did we have another really good defense? Was that, I'm trying to think, what, 2008? We had a good defense, right?
I mean, we've had a lot of good defenses. I'm a little disappointed you went back to 2008.
I'm trying to think of anyway. So maybe a few years ago, right? Like,
we were number one in the league, I think, in 2019.
Well, but certainly we weren't kicking a field goal in 19 either.
No, that's
my point. I'm trying to think of a scenario in which, look, certainly the Super Bowl year, the first Super Bowl.
Well, here's the thing,
coach. Like, you just, you know what I mean? It's a different scenario. Is all I'm saying, and the players know.
If he gets it, What happens if he gets it?
Right. Then the whole script is flipped.
If they get it, then does he have to be the adult in the room that kicks it then? I mean, it's just such a hard call. It's just a tough call. But
Yeah. Yeah, it is for sure.
if you're wrong, no matter what, half the people are going to think you're an idiot. So you just better be right, is I guess the moral of the story there. Daryl says, it's just me, but every time we get on the 1 or 2 yard line, then you just give the ball to Pat Ricard, promised yards. Yeah, certainly lately he's been almost a guarantee from short range. I think if fans remember his first time, or maybe it was one of his first times getting in this situation, he fumbled the ball. And I think maybe that's still in the back of the mind of Harbs, but every time since, it seems like he's delivered. So I will give him credit there. But maybe the concern is that if given more opportunities, he could put the ball on the ground. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that would be my go-to play in the, on the goal line either, because he's gotten yards, like you said, but he's not not a career runner. You know what I mean? I think there's an art to that as well in a short yardage scenario. And so I think that I wouldn't have been upset if it were a little bit of a different play. But like you said, it broke open exactly like they wanted.
It did.
So it's just
it literally went exactly as script, except for that one.
This is the craziest thing of it all. We could talk about this until Sunday night next week, and then some.
Yeah.
Like we could talk about this until you and I, neither of us no longer have hair on our head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Which could be a while, because I got.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm doing okay. Yeah, well, I think we're both blessed by God in the hair department. So yeah, I'm at this point, you got to live with it. It is what it is. Look, we're 2-2, first in the division, getting ready for our first divisional opponent.
2-2, by the way. And I just want to point this out because, and this is what I got off of, shout out to Chris Hoffman, and got this off his Facebook here.
Yeah.
The Ravens, when leading by 17 or more points in the first 26 years of this franchise's existence, they went 100 wins to just 3 losses when they had at least a 17-point lead in some point in the game. 100 wins to 3 losses. This season, they're 1-2. But I look at that as the silver lining to that is that they held 2 17-plus point leads against 2 teams that most consider to be the top in the AFC, or at least in the Buffalo is widely considered to be the best team in the AFC, and Miami was just picked number 1 2 weeks ago and is still considered to be in the top 5 of the AFC, even with the uncertainty with Tua. And so they had 17-point leads against both of them and lost in situations that I just refuse to believe will happen again. I refuse to believe it. So I choose to be encouraged.
That's good. I'm glad you choose to be encouraged. The only thing I'll say here is that's why I know that one play everyone is focused on, but I saw some other people and Manuel's Manuel's Call of Duty challenge or channel, excuse me, kind of talks about this, but there are more than just a play. There are drives offensively and defensively in the game where the Ravens are absent.
Yeah.
That is a bigger concern to me than one single play. You can't go entire drives, entire series, offensive, defensive series, trade series where your defense is just not there and then your offense is not doing anything. So that to me is my
well, I'll give you a perfect example of your point here, Jimbo. To start the third quarter, the first possession in the third quarter, the Ravens get the ball. 1st and 10, first play, Jimbo. False start, Tyler Linderbaum. You're 1st and 15 for the first play of the second half. They go incomplete to Bateman, drops the ball. Now you're 2nd and 15. Then short incomplete pass to Mark Andrews, incomplete to Edmonds. You're punting. So you're 3 and out, and you have a penalty on the first play of the second half. Can't happen, man. You cannot come out in the second half and have 3 plays, -5 yards, punt.
Yeah, it's a problem. And then what happened to the defense?
Yeah, on the very next play, they gave up a 10-play drive. And then in the drive after that, they gave up a 9-play touchdown drive. So, yeah. And then the killer, though, of course, and we just got done talking about it. The Ravens go 14 plays, 93 yards, 9.5 minutes, and come away with nothing. So that'll kill you. Yeah, it's awfully frustrating. But one other thing I want to bring up and talk about, because I think we were a little bit hard on him, and I think a lot of people were in the initial moments when Odafe Owe looked like he tackled the running back when everyone else seemingly was trying to usher him into the end zone and give the Ravens a chance to score with, I think, 1:40 left at that point. They would have been down by a touchdown. But after the game, different angles come out, and it's quite clear that the call was not only for Odafe or for the whole team to either strip or allow to score, but it was clear that the running back Singletary had gotten, proper coaching on his own and was going down at the 6-yard line, was not going to score, even if the Ravens darn near pushed him in. And Odafe, as he's coached, swiped down, punched at the ball, and narrowly missed getting the ball out. If you look at the clip, the ball slides down. It almost comes free, but it ultimately, was able to stay secured. So Odafe did nothing wrong. The guy was going down anyway. And so I think I incorrectly said something. So just wanted to correct that.
Yeah, well, I think that was both of us. I think everyone piled on. And so basically, just to reiterate, if you don't, DK, you can put this up here. So if you want, this is the play where they're letting him run through, and you can see that, he's already going to go down. He was instructed to go down. That was relatively clear. And so Odafe is like, well, if he's already going to go down and we're trying to, I'm going to try and get the football if he's not going to get in the end zone anyways, I think was his thought process.
Yeah. And he darn near did it. Look at this. The ball was so close to popping out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Owe, I think Owe's going to be in a much better position once Bowser comes back. And then when Ajabo comes back, I'm telling you, this defense could make a big, big turn as long as the injuries stay where they're currently at and those guys do come back. Eric Banks says, last year we had all those comebacks, and this year teams are coming back on us. Shake my head.
It's still early. There's a quarter. Look, John, I liked what John said. He put things in perspective. It brought me down a notch or two, maybe a rung or two. I mean, like the season is basically a quarter over. We're 2-2. And we're first in our division.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what I took from that was like, you know what? He's right. Let me pump the brakes for a second. Let me think about how, from a health standpoint and a player improvement standpoint, we have ways where we can get better. And I think you can rationally say that there aren't too many teams that have the same cavalry in the reserves waiting to come back onto the field.
Mm-hmm.
So that has me encouraged. And, I think that, like you said, we've just been so good in spots. We have to string these games together. So I think there's a lot of ways that this team can improve moving forward. Man, I'm back. I'm along for the ride. All right. I was down, but I wasn't down long. Okay. I just needed a minute, just those moments where you're getting a tough argument. You just got to drive around the block for a second.
That's it.
Like, hold on. Let me just take an emotional lap here.
Yeah, just don't drive too daggone fast because you're all fired up.
Whatever you got to do.
There you go. There you go.
Take a walk real quick,
Yeah, Tariq says, what do we do with inside linebacker? Trade? Sign? Training? Well, to that, the Ravens did have a workout today. They worked out linebacker Harvey Lange, who was recently let go by the Patriots. So looks like they might be trying to address this situation. It's not going to be a splash guy that I'm sure has much of a household name, but Bynes has played okay, right? He's had some moments.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, in the short term, there's only so much you can do. I think the Roquan thing is dead and gone.
Yeah, I think it's dead and gone. Yeah.
So I don't know how much you can
And Pat
do.
Queen is getting a lot of grief for those 2 dropped interceptions.
Well,
but let's be honest, they would have been tricky. They were in his breadbasket, but they would have been tough.
Yeah. Oh, look who it is.
Yo.
Oh my goodness. What's going on, guys?
Happy birthday to you. That's it. That's all you get.
Oh man, I really thought you were gonna finish that one, but I like how LB's driving and
talking at the same time, putting his life on the line for you, dude.
My guy.
In the rain.
In the rain.
In the dark. My guy.
In the rain.
Well, thanks
Oh,
for jumping in. Appreciate the birthday wishes. Man, Jimbo, you're doing
thank
too
you
much
guys.
here. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
See you,
See
man.
ya.
Wow.
I just banned him from the studio.
Who's that?
No, I just removed him, but like you have the option to ban from the studio.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Not my guy.
Oh, that was funny, dude.
What were we just talking about? Because I totally lost. Pat Queen. I think he's
Yeah.
getting a little bit unfairly. Now, there's no doubt that he's got some room to improve, but I think I saw him getting absolutely killed for those dropped interceptions and stuff like that. And yeah, he's got to be better. And I hope
I tweeted that though. That catch would have been incredible.
Yes.
In this game. Like the last one, I mean, he just straight up, but the reaction time and that would have been an incredible
It was
catch.
tipped like late.
Yeah, I mean,
it was end over end.
Maybe
Like
you expect a Marcus Williams or Marcus Peters, something like that. But for a linebacker, I mean, come on, guys. He ain't Ray Lewis here. We're talking about, you know, I mean, it's just not a fair comparison. So, yeah, that would have been an incredible catch. But the thing that frustrates me, Glenn, is just his ability to analyze plays. He just gets fooled a little bit too much for me. Like,
yeah.
How do you move fast and think slow at the same time? You know what I mean? Because
you run around in circles. That's what you do.
Well, no, what I mean is he needs to do that. He needs to move fast and think slower because you know what I mean? He's overplaying everything.
Yeah.
And it's just a struggle.
Yeah, I just wish you could combine him and Bynes because Bynes is making tackles, but they're a little too far down the field that I'd like my linebacker making those tackles. Jared says, with everyone coming back from injury in the coming weeks, do you think it's enough for a playoff / Super Bowl run this season? Do we need more? I absolutely think it's enough. Absolutely. I mean, you had 17+ point leads on two teams that most think will be competing for the AFC. No doubt about it, I think it's enough. We saw the Chiefs lose to a Colts team that is just not good. So they can be had. Every team in the AFC can absolutely be had. There's just no doubt about it. And so when I look at the Ravens' 2 losses, man, they didn't get manhandled. They didn't get beat down. They didn't get embarrassed. They may have gotten embarrassed for blowing such a massive lead, but they had the lead nonetheless. So I think that Ravens fans should be encouraged with the players on the horizon. Again, as long as they're not any other major injuries, I think I'm excited. I think that this AFC is wide open. And why not it be the Ravens? It's a big game, though. Big game, first division game at home. You got to break that winless streak at home that you've been having, and you get a little comeback or a little comeuppance for those Bungles.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get the dub for us. They aren't going to let us show up and have us lose, right? I mean, they know we're going to be there. They're going to be pumped for it. That's celebrity night.
Ozzy was texting me last night. He was hyped we were coming.
Yeah, they'll put us on the screen. They'll have us on the screen over the Sunday night set.
They'll put us up there instead of Real Fan Dan.
You know what I'm saying?
They'll put us up there instead of Real Fan Dan. I'll take my shirt off, leave the chair.
You know what would be really good, Glenn, if you did it next to him at the same time?
Yeah, we look different.
He's such a big dude, and then you have Glenn
standing next to him, just skinny.
Yeah, just R-A.
Oh yeah, I'll do it. He's got all the chest hair. I got almost nothing. Rob Jack says, I think it's time to admit that the 2019 season was an aberration. We fans make too many references to that year like we can return to that form.
Well, Lamar Jackson is playing better than that year, Rob.
Well, I will say also that year they were 2-2. Let's make another connection back to that year.
Maybe it was an anomaly in that, sure, maybe we won't, we ring off 12 in a row?
12 in a row after starting 2-2. Yep. Yeah, that might not happen, but that's okay. I still think they're a damn good team, and I think there's no reason to believe they can't win the AFC North. That's the most important thing.
100%. So, look, maybe we have to travel up to Buffalo in the playoffs. But look, Buffalo's got their own division battle to deal with in the AFC East. They got to deal with the Dolphins who they just lost to.
And you talk about banged up. They you wonder when their injuries start to become too much to overcome. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You encapsulate all of it. We're 2-2, first in our division. playing. The only other team in our division that is 2-2, if I'm not mistaken, right? Aren't the other two 1-3?
Yep.
So look, let's put a beat down on them, and let's.
You don't think? How hyped do you think this secondary is, Jimbo? All the crap
talk,
that they've been
all
talking.
the talk from Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Dude, he's not even Joe, but he's Macaulay Culkin, dude.
Oh, by the
What's
way,
the kid's name in Home Alone?
Sean, I'm putting it up because I heard the name, but I didn't know.
Nice.
It's Kevin McAllister, by the way, is the kid from Home Alone.
There, that's who he is.
But Nellie's gonna be performing.
Bro.
No? Okay. I want to see Ray Lewis come out with Nelly doing Hot in Here live, bro.
How awesome would that be, dude?
Dude, place would go bonkers.
Ray's got to come back for this game, right? Just to do that.
Dude, it's his intro.
They come out of the tunnel the same time together. Woo!
Yeah,
Goosebumps, dude.
Country grammar, Adam. Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, dude, that was my jam back. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
I used to love me some Nelly. I am hyped. Last time we were there, I think Flow Rider performed.
Yeah, dude,
right?
we've had some good ones, man.
We've had some. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do the squirrel, dude. I'm bringing grass in. I'm throwing it.
As long as you don't try and run on the field with one of those smoke things.
Dude, Bobby Wagner gave him the business.
Do you think if I was out there, I could give a 1-2 to Patrick Queen? You think he'd smash me?
I think you might be able to catch him, bro.
You think I could give him a quick fake? Dude, like a fake handoff and he would go the other way?
I think you can catch him because he's going to come at you like they do at quarterbacks that think they have no wiggle and they're just going to crush him.
I'll just pump fake. I'll pump fake the smoke thing. He jumps up in there. I run right under him. You imagine
have a hot dog. Have a hot dog. Pump fake the hot dog.
He just hurdles me.
Dude, that would be hilarious. Imagine me on the field, dude. And then we put that in the show. Put that in the intro. Me running. Shirtless. That
with Patrick Queen behind your face in slow motion like this.
No, please. I'm a big fan. Just destroy me. But I absolutely cannot wait for this weekend. I'm hyped for this game. I think Stanley's going to be back. I know it's a little early in the week, and of course we'll talk a lot more about it on Thursday. But I think this is the game that Stanley makes his long-awaited return. And once he does, not only does he help the pass blocking, which, by the way, has been more than serviceable. I think that, there were some moments in the second half where they had some struggles. But I not only will Stanley help that, he's going to help this run game in a big, big way. His mobility at that left tackle position is going to open up more plays in the playbook that we just haven't seen yet because we haven't had a guy there that could do it.
And let's be honest, like Falele is holding it down and he's doing his best. Ronnie on one leg is better than Falele at left tackle. It's just, and it's no knock on Falele. Ronnie's that good. He's that experienced. He's a former All-Pro. So even if he ain't 100%, it's not comparable.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not, you know what I mean? Anyway, I mean, it's just not.
But next year, Falele, I think, is going to be a hell of a player.
At right tackle, though, right? Is probably your.
Well, I think it's swing tackle, so wherever he's needed.
Oh yeah, because we'll still have Morgan and.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see. Ooh, look, now you're only getting me excited about next year, dude. I got to stay focused on the moment.
That's right.
All right, so what else are we talking about? We talked about John and his trust. Do you think we talked about that. We can put that one to bed. I agree with you. Yeah, so the secondary ought to be super hyped on this game. I think that's a big storyline going into this game. Joe Burrow did a little bit of yapping this offseason, right? He seems to be, obviously, they're a target for a lot of teams when you go to the Super Bowl. I'm really interested to see how this game, of course, I'm interested to see how this game turns out. But what other storylines you see in this game? I think another one, you talked about secondary, Marlon and Jamar Chase.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Because Jamar Chase torched Marlon.
Yep.
Am I mistaken in that he seems to be having a bit quieter of a year this year? Am I mistaken in that? I haven't been following them super closely. He doesn't seem to be jumping off as much.
I know T. Higgins has had some real big
he's had some moments for sure.
But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Jamar Chase is.
Fair to say Justin Jefferson's better?
Well, I think it's fair to say he's having a better year because he's having an absolute monster year. But let me see what he's done so far this year. Yeah, had a pretty big week one, but he had 10 catches, 129 yards, and a tutty. But since then, relatively pedestrian number, certainly by his standards. So yeah, he's going to be looking to bounce back. But I got to get your take because I know you've been wanting to talk about it. So let's hear what you think. Kenny Pickett takes over as QB1 in Pittsburgh from Mitch Trubisky. He has 3 picks in his debut, but does add 2 rushing touchdowns. Is Kenny Pickett the answer to unlock the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, Jim?
No, of course not. Two-glove Kenny is not the answer. I mean, come on. He's the question. He is the conundrum. He is the paradox. I mean, no, absolutely not. I tell you what, that's what took the edge off. Glenn, as you know, not a drinker myself, try and avoid the elixirs. But I will say watching Kenny Pickett was equivalent to what I would assume would be having a beer after a long, tough day. Right? Like it just took the edge off. And I was like, you know what? At least we're not in quarterback purgatory with, let me see, Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard to see the upside with Mitch Trubisky.
Oh,
but at least you have at least you have something, the unknown of Kenny Pickett.
That's right around the river bend. Some more interceptions.
Exactly. Or a beautiful oasis. And let's hope that you are right and I am wrong. Laura said, happy birthday, Glenn. Love you guys. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Laura, I appreciate it. Although I have to point out, it is Glenn with 2 N's. I have to point that out and make it known on the pod. It is Glenn with 2 N's, but I appreciate it. Thanks for the happy birthday.
Yes. So yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait. I've never been more excited to play the Steelers and less nervous in my entire life.
Yeah.
We're sweeping the Steelers.
Especially if at this point TJ Watt's still out, because that guy has shown that if he's on their defense, they have a really good defense. And when he's not on their defense, it's not so good.
By the way, can I just say shout out to JJ Watt for getting his heart shocked back into normality, into a normal rhythm, and
Scary,
and then playing on Sunday. Shout out, dude.
Yeah, scary stuff. Amazing that we can do that nowadays. Just shock someone's heart back into rhythm, and then they're good to play NFL football in the days after. It's absolutely insane. But I think that's it for me tonight, Jimbo, unless there's something else. But again, we will go ahead, Jimbo.
No, I was gonna say, I think we were gonna say the same exact thing.
Did we do the competition?
Oh, DK, do we have the winner?
Yes, sir. It's loaded up. Man, we almost forgot. Good call. The competition results. We have to go over the show. We didn't even announce the show winner. We only announced. We did nothing.
I don't even want to announce the show winner this week.
It's because you already know the answer. All right. So competition results are as follows. Now I'm getting used to it. Ravens third down efficiency. DK set the over under at 46%. It went over by 0.1%. I mean, DK, how did you get this?
Dude, crystal ball, bro.
Dude, he's like a shark from Vegas, man.
That's right.
You got to have him setting lines next time. But it goes over. Everyone got that wrong. We all predicted under. Disappointing. All right, next one. Time of possession for the Ravens set it at 30 minutes. They went over once again, 38 minutes and 10 seconds. Everyone got that right. So everyone got the first one wrong. Everyone got the second one correct.
We're all still in it.
That's right. All right, switch to defense. All right, so defensively, opponent passing touchdowns, 2.5. I said over as well as DK. We were both wrong, as James and intern Brad correctly predicted under would be the answer, as Josh Allen does not get over 2.5 touchdowns in the game. So
you and DK were really bad.
We haven't gotten to the last one yet here, Jimbo. But yeah, so let's see. Brad got the first 2 correct. The third one.
No, wait a second.
First 3. He got the first 3 correct.
No, he got the first one wrong. We all said under.
All right, he got the second and third one correct, which you
right
did
now
as well. You guys are tied right now. Okay, all right. And the final defensive over under is Odafe Owe plus Patrick Queen sacks. Another one where I feel like you just hit it on the head. Yeah, they ended up with just 1, but I think they were constantly harassing Josh Allen. It was exciting to see how close they came to picking up that second one. But Brad and DK correctly predicted that they had under 1.5, where me and you went over. So somehow Brad is now once again in the lead of our competitions like he is every single week now. And then we move to the first tiebreaker, total score over under 51.5 points. It does, of course, go under, ending at 43 points. I was the only one to predict the winner correctly.
No, of course, because you're a closet Josh Allen fan.
What?
Of course you picked the Bills. Glenn Wood picked the Bills. Come on. You also picked the Kansas City Chiefs last year in the Sunday night game.
Dude, you're glenning me right now. Dude, you're hitting me with my own medicine. And I don't like it one bit.
Well, take it and like it.
You know what? I can't help it. I'm just a genius, okay? I knew that we would lose. All right, never mind. All right, second tiebreaker is total yards for the Ravens closest to the pin. 293 was the Ravens total, so Jimmy was closest with 338. All right.
Of course I was.
All right, so who won the show competition, DK? Who was the winner this week amongst us? I know it wasn't me.
For that one. We can just say it, right? It was Brad. It was Brad. DK,
Brad.
obligatory order of operations next week. Brad has a handicap. He puts his option. He puts his answers in first.
Or at least no later than midnight Thursday.
I refuse to put an answer in until I see Brad's answer. I will be boycotting.
That's right. Let's
Brad,
be salty.
You heard it. That's right.
Yeah, Brad wins. He's won all 4 weeks. Oh no, he's 3-1. Jimmy won 1. Although
come on.
It was quite controversial that one.
But I won.
And all right, but the most important thing is, of course, our audience.
We should do an over/under for you and DK combined wins for the season.
You hear this, DK?
We should put it at
now
2.
Being lumped in with me. How's that feel?
At 2 over/under. I'm taking the under.
How does that? Oh man, I'm about to catch fire. Next week, starting next week, I'm running the table. Running the table. All right, who is this week's fan winner, DK? Tev Dog wins it again. My man.
And look, when you get a 2-piece on the show, you don't get a shirt again.
No.
It's hoodie time, bro.
Mama, let me upgrade ya.
That's right.
No? All right. That was horrible. All right. Yeah, so he gets Tev Dog. We already know your address. Yep. We already know your size. So good news, you're getting a hoodie and to go along with that t-shirt. So congratulations, Tev Dog. It's amazing. Everyone, we've had so many participants, but yet we've had one repeat winner and then 2 brothers win the other week. It's incredible how all that worked out. Yeah, I got to step it up. Trash.
Well, I mean,
by the way, Tev Dog, only one who got all 4 of the over-unders correct.
Congrats.
I got 1, so it's pathetic.
He was literally 4 times better than you.
Thanks for the quick math, Bob Pierney.
Hey, got that one.
You did get that one, right?
You know, got to take the ones I can get. But like you said, Glenn, I think that's it for us tonight. On Thursday, we're going to try and have a guest for you guys. We're going to break down all things matchup from the Bengals side of things, from our side of things. We'll talk about what sort of impact this has on the division, the outlook of the season, all things Ravens, Bengals on Thursday night. We're excited to talk about it. Shout out to all you guys for coming out tonight. And I guess we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, and I
won't ever sing again.
I won't be doing any more singing, Marcus. Appreciate it, though. That's it for us tonight.